we're live. Hello and welcome to the Football Podcast for Thursday, the 4th of June. I am joined as always by Sergeant Theo Van Zyl to discuss the hottest stories surrounding the footballing world right now.
Hello, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here. And without further ado, let us commence this podcast.
Indeed. In today's edition of the Football Podcast, we will be covering transfers, but also some more serious news that we do feel very passionately about.
But on that note, we will start off with some brighter news, but also some disappointing news, if I don't say so myself. As we said in our previous podcast, we did say that Saul would announce his new club on Wednesday, and he did. He did announce his new club. Though it did, I will say that it did lack some clarity in terms of what Saul actually meant, because he said it was he'd be signing for this club called Club Costa City, which he'd be creating with Nike, which would be based in his hometown, which is very interesting. But what it is actually an academy which would combine approximately 30 grassroots football teams, and about 500 men and women, or girls and boys. So I'm not exactly sure what it is, and whether Saul would actually be playing for them, or whether he's actually staying at Atletico Madrid, or whether he's actually could be on his way to the red side of Manchester United. So
yeah, because he never specified that he was actually, I don't know exactly if he specified he was signing for a new club. He said he was announcing his new club. So what this means is he's still going to play for Atletico Madrid. Will he be on his way to United? I mean, it's left us really sitting on the edge of our seats, but in a quite odd way. But I think that he was making people think that he was going to be signing, but he did not directly say, I am going to be signing for a new club. What he did say was that he was announcing his new club.
Yeah, so again, lack of clarity. Hopefully we'll get some more useful detail from the Spanish midfielder in the coming days. Moving on, we have Chelsea, who are very confident that they can beat Liverpool to Timo Werner's £53 million release clause. Adam, your thoughts?
Well, I think that Chelsea are confident, not because, I think, first of all, they have had Roman Abramovich come out and say that he is willing to, and I quote, splash the cash on players this season, which is, I think it's made them a lot more confident. Since they had a transfer ban, if you recall, for, I believe, signing players who were too young. Am I correct, Theo?
Yeah, it was for signing foreign players under the age of 16.
Yeah, so but I think they haven't, besides Hakim Ziyech, who was on a pre-contract agreement, haven't made any big moves, and I think that has given them a boost to their confidence, and so that's why they're saying they're confident. I think another motive for that opinion would be that Liverpool aren't really seeking a classic number 9, if you see what I mean, an all-out central striker who just gets up there and puts the goals in, much like Werner is doing, much like Haaland and others are doing. So I think those two factors are making them more confident.
Yeah, I just think one of the strange things about release clauses is that why do clubs always say that they're confident about activating them when they can just activate them straight away? Why doesn't Chelsea just do it now, as opposed to waiting a while? I don't. That's something I don't get about transfers. Maybe when I grow up I'll get it more, but it's a bit strange why people wait so long. Maybe that's the unrealistic part of FIFA 20. the ability to sign players in the space of 2 minutes. But yeah, very strange. But moving on, we have more news from Chelsea, and this is a report saying that Ben Chilwell is keen on a Chelsea move. Now, Ben Chilwell is a English left back who actually scored against Chelsea in a 2-2 draw at the King Power Stadium, I believe a month before the coronavirus lockdown took place. It was a fantastic goal with his weaker foot, but that aside, he has been one of the players that's topped Chelsea's transfer list, players to buy this summer, and I think that this would be a really good signing for Chelsea. And Marcus Alonso and Emerson look like they could be seeing the exit this summer. Though I do think Marcus Alonso has shined in the few games that he's played. So I'm not sure, but I think Ben Chilwell is a really good step forward for Chelsea to reach that level that they were at with Antonio Conte in 2017.
I mean, I think this is just yet again an example of Frank Lampard taking players who want to make that step up in their career. Now, we saw it with Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, and I'm sure some others that he bore with him from the championship. And now, yes, Ben Chilwell is currently more established than both Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount were at the time last season. But I don't think he can yet be considered world class. And Frank Lampard is trying to take him to that step up, and that's what he wants to be. He wants to be considered a world class left back, much like Andrew Robertson has become at Liverpool, coming from, I believe, Hull.
Yeah, Hull City.
Yeah, Hull City, where he was, yes, a good fullback, but no one saw him as world class, and he became world class in, I think, the second half of the 2017-18 season. And can Ben Chilwell replicate that? There's only one way to wait and see.
Yeah, I think Chelsea should just gather their money and shoot it over to Leicester City. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. And they should. I would advocate for them to wrap up a deal very soon during the summer. So yeah, that would be a very good move for Ben Chilwell, in my opinion. Moving on, we have PSG, who are demanding upwards of 175 million euros for Neymar. Now, I think they're directing this 175 million euros at the Catalan giants Barcelona, who are keen on getting Neymar back at the Camp Nou. Adam?
Yeah, I mean, he has been a great player with great statistics, but he and Mbappe were brought into PSG, still to this day, the two most expensive players of all time, and they were expected to carry PSG to Champions League glory. They wanted to take that step up from just being dominant in their local league to being a dominant giant in Europe. Can they do that this season? I think they'll definitely be a contender when the Champions League does resume. I think we'll have news on that by next episode. But I think that he has been quite underwhelming. Now, Mbappe has grown tremendously since signing for Monaco, and no one has the same criticism. But Neymar was meant to be really in the driving seat, and he has not met expectations. He left Barcelona for 222 million euros, so they will actually be losing money with this deal. It still would be the second most expensive transfer of all time, followed by his move to PSG. And I think they realize they're not going to get a better. I think they realize that they can't get more than the deal they got and so they're just trying to make sure they're not left ignominiously humiliated with an easy, free, oh, not free, but very small sum of money. They want to charge a big sum of money.
Yeah. I was gonna. Yeah, like you said, Adam. I was just about to say it. Barcelona, if they were to sign Neymar again, they really getting their money's worth. They're earning profits of around about 47 million euros. Considering he left for 222, and that's money you can almost spend on Timo Werner. So that'd be a really good deal for Barcelona. And considering the underwhelming performances from Neymar since he joined in, I believe, 2017, at the beginning of the 2017-18 season. But I just think that he does have a few more years in the top flight. Will he last as long as Messi does? That's the thing. I feel like only the greatest players last until the age of 35, like Ronaldo and Messi. Yeah, curious to see. Adam, what's our next transfer?
Well, speaking of underwhelming players related with Barcelona, Ousmane Dembele has been loan listed, and Liverpool have submitted their loan offer. Now, if you have been following recent episodes, you will know that Mane is quite likely to be on his way to Madrid. Yes, it's Real Madrid. Could this be a temporary solution until they get the man who they really want, Kylian Mbappe? Ousmane Dembele filling in that left wing role. I think that if he is taken under Jurgen Klopp's wing, could prove to be a great left winger in the period of time he is in. And it would not disrupt Firmino or Liverpool's way of playing, as he's the similar orthodox left winger to Mane and can cut inside like Mane does, and because he has a great weak foot and can also take players on down the line. Theo, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna say that this would be exactly. I think this would be precisely what Jurgen Klopp would have been considering when he was about to submit this loan offer at him. So, some really good analysis there. That's exactly what I was thinking. It'd be a really good short-term possibility, and even maybe an alternative for Mbappe, because Mbappe would obviously be a very, very, very expensive player to acquire. Whether Liverpool have the funds for it, we don't know. But what we do know is that we have one last transfer on our list today, and that is Thomas Partey, who is linked with PSG. Adam?
Yup, so we started with an Atletico Madrid midfielder, and we will also end with one in terms of the transfers. I think the PSG, they have a relatively strong midfield in comparison to the league, but it is definitely nowhere near as star-studded as their attack. It needs some support that's willing to drive them forward, attacking-minded, but also has a very high defensive work rate. Thomas Partey, he impressed in the Liverpool Champions League game, both legs, and I think he could bring great stability to the PSG midfield. I think they really need it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Thomas Partey will be a great player in the future. And I think that PSG could really use a midfielder like him alongside the likes of Rabiot. So just to help support that midfield, because I feel like their midfield is probably their weakest area. Just considering the fact that they spend so much money on their attack and their defense. They've got Marquinhos, Thiago Silva at the back, and then they've got Mbappe, and they've got Neymar, of course, and then in the midfield they're a bit lacking. They've got Rabiot, they've got Draxler, who we thought would be great, who's turning out not to be so great. Someone who I know will be great is Thomas Partey. I think this would be a pretty good signing. not exactly your quote unquote picture perfect signing. There are just some players that you could almost see in the shirt. I cannot see Thomas Partey in a PSG shirt. I can see him in a Manchester United shirt, or an Arsenal shirt. But I feel like he'd be a great addition to PSG.
Yup. And now it saddens us to go on to this, but it has to. Yes, we are referring to the George Floyd and incident, and no, racism is certainly not acceptable. I have seen many peaceful protests on the news, and I have liked seeing them, but violence is by no means the answer.
Absolutely. This is why we, the Football Podcast, are actively encouraging the Premier League to launch their No Room for Racism campaign as soon as the Premier League resumes. Because there is indeed no room for racism in this world and on the football pitch.
I'm sorry to leave you on that somber note, but it had to be mentioned. But thank you as always for tuning in to this edition of the Football Podcast. Bye for now.
And bye from me too. Thanks everybody and goodbye.